Another month down. August is over, and I, as expected, did not do as many things as I have in previous months because, like I said, I'm back to work full time. So that leaves me with just my nights and weekends to watch things. So here's what I did in August, starting with, let's start with movies. So this month's movie theme was Chris Evans not as Captain America. You all know I love him as Captain America. What you didn't know is that I love him in other roles as well, starting with Gifted. I love this movie. It is so sweet. This is kind of one of his newer movies, and oh, he's just so freaking adorable in this movie. All movies, but this one is a super sweet movie. And the little girl that plays his niece, so good. So, Gifted. Then I watched Playing It Cool on Hulu. I had no idea this movie existed. I didn't know what it was about at all. I just entered Chris Evans in search on Hulu and this one came up. It was okay. It wasn't great, wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't terrible. And then I watched Nanny Diaries because Carson gave me crap for not seeing this movie. We couldn't find it anywhere, so she had to order on Amazon and she shipped it to me. So thank you, Carson, for finally letting me experience Nanny Diaries. This also has Scarlett Johansson, who you know as Black Widow. This movie is way older and like in their early days. It's super sweet. I think it's supposed to be like a spin on Mary Poppins. I know it's based on a book. It's pretty cute. Like it's up there in those rom-com movies for sure. And then my last Chris Evans movie is Knives Out. Great movie. Great movie. Even a second time, because it's kind of like a murder mystery movie. And even the second time when I'm knowing what's happened, I still really enjoyed it. And I watched this one on Prime. And then I watched a bunch of other movies, starting with new movies that were on Disney+. I watched Howard, and I did a whole review on it if you want to watch that. And to sum it up, this movie is for all the fans of the Disney Renaissance music. He wrote all the lyrics to most of our favorite Disney songs. And then I watched Magic Camp on Disney+. It was kind of like a step above a Disney Channel original movie. It had more of a movie theater movie vibe, a little higher quality budget-esque movie. Still very cute. I thought it was a really sweet story, funny, not an award winner, but still a pretty fun Friday night movie. And I know, another new movie. I watched The One and Only Ivan on Disney Plus about a gorilla that is in this mall circus. I didn't love this movie. I'm not sure if this movie was intended to come out to theater and got released to Disney Plus instead. I'm glad it did because I don't think it would have done well in the theater because it's not terrible, but it's not great. It has a lot of famous voices in it, but that does not always make a good movie, which is the case for this one. Sorry. And then after watching Howard, I wanted to watch the original Beauty and the Beast. So I watched the animated Beauty and the Beast because it's one of my favorites. Music-wise, story-wise, color, animation. Love, love, love Beauty and the Beast. It's like one of my top Disney movies. And it's also on Disney Plus. Lots of Disney Plus this month. I really got out of Disney Plus, but now I'm back in it. And a movie that I have been wanting to watch for a very long time, finally decided to do it, Jojo Rabbit. Loved this movie, and I'm so mad at myself for not seeing this sooner. It was so funny and just really well done, and everybody in it is so funny. And how they make, not light, but how they tell the story of something so dark, I just thought was really well done. I give this movie 2 thumbs up. Great movie. I see now why it won all the awards. It's really good. And I watched a couple new movies on Netflix. I watched Work It. It's another dance movie. They've had quite a few dance movies out now. I love Jordan Fisher. I think he's super fun, and Sabrina Carpenter was really good too. She's not so believable as a bad dancer. The outfits in this movie are terrible, but it was actually pretty cute. Like really predictable, obviously, but still super cute. And also on Netflix, I watched Expedition Happiness. For those of you that don't know, I have been working on a project that is similar to this movie. So it was recommended to me to watch this, and I did. So it's about this couple that transforms an old school bus into an RV, and they travel. They're from Germany, I think, and they fly to New York buy this bus, build it in South Carolina, then go up the coast to Canada, across Canada, down the Pacific coast, into Mexico, and end their trip there. And it's their journey, and it's all filmed by them. She wrote the music and sings all the songs. Really cute couple. Interesting story. And if you guys are into the van life or even like this RV life, it's a really fun documentary movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought it had a lot of fun moments. So, Expedition Happiness on Netflix. And then the chick flick I wanted to watch this month was The Perfect Man with Hilary Duff. I love Hilary Duff movies. I'm a sucker ever since Lizzie McGuire. I don't know. I feel like she can do no wrong. This movie's not great, but I love this style of movie. The Perfect Man. And I watched the Black Panther. I watched the ABC special with the tribute to Chadwick. It's so tragic and such a shock that I think we're all still not quite processing it yet, but I really wanted to watch this movie to kind of honor him. This is not my favorite Marvel movie, not because of the story or the characters. I actually think the main characters are great and the script and story is fantastic. I just hate this villain so much, so it knocks it down in the list of favorite Marvel movies. But this is a really fantastic addition to the Marvel universe. And it was really fun to rewatch it because it's not one that I rewatch often. And it was commercial free, and they had this beautiful tribute before and after. So, Black Panther. And the final movie I watched was Hans Christian Andersen. This is an old dance musical, and it's just kind of a really old school musical about a really fantasized version of Hans Christian Andersen, who, you know, wrote Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, Thumbelina, and many other short stories that we all know and love. And the reason I watched this movie is because I went on a trip this month. Finally, like a real little mini vacation. I went to Solvang, California. If you guys have never been here, it's like a little Danish town. They have a mini Little Mermaid statue like they do in Denmark. And it's this little town that has windmills and like these little shops and, you know, kind of the culture food. And it's just a fun little walkable town. I tried to be as safe as I possibly could. I took my hand sanitizer, wore my mask, but had a fun little trip. Stopped at Universal City Walk, Santa Barbara, Solvang for a couple days. Went to my favorite winery, Fess Parker. If you Disney people, you know that this is Davy Crockett. He started a winery and they have fantastic wines. And then hit downtown Disney on my way home and a nice little 3-day weekend. So I went on one trip this month. And of course, I watched TV shows. Not a lot, but more than I thought I would this month. Starting with season 2, 3, and 4 of Reign. This show is so good. It's good all the way through. It was originally on the CW, now on Netflix. If you guys are into this Mary Queen of Scots, Elizabeth Tudor, all that stuff, it's a fun, romanticized version of that storyline. So, Reign, season 2 through 4. And I also watched season 2 and 3 of Legends of Tomorrow. I am getting super into this show. And if you want to know anything about my television likes, this show is it to a T. It's funny, it's quirky, it's just that right combination of fantasy, realistic, but not like, I am loving this show so much. You all know I love the DC shows on the CW. This one has become my favorite, I think. And I'm almost finished with season 4, and then I have one more season, and then I'm caught up. So I'm really, really excited to be watching Legends again. And then the final show I watched was The Virgin River on Netflix. This is like the long Hallmark movie we all want. It's very Hallmarky, but has this really fun vibe. If you guys watch Sweet Magnolias, I think you would like this show too. It's a little different, but kind of still that same vibe. It was renewed for a season 2, which is very exciting. Not that it had as big of a cliffhanger, but I still need season 2. So, not bad for shows. That's only 6 seasons, which I think is probably my low for this year, maybe. I don't know. I really thought I would make it more than one book this month, but I only read one book. The Queen's Assassin. This is one of 2. The next one doesn't come out till sometime mid next year, so I'm waiting to judge the series until I read the whole thing. This book was pretty good. Like, I was addicted and I mean, it's not very big, so I read it pretty fast. Still really disappointed this is the only book I finished this month. Especially since I said one book, you all should have guessed that it was Midnight Sun, but it was not. I'm so behind and I'm so mad at myself. But like I said, going back to work full time is hard. However, I did get to finish one puzzle. I finished my Sleeping Beauty puzzle. Had this one for a really long time. Okay, I just want to say this box is super annoying because I put all my spare pieces in the lids, like the top and the bottom. You cannot do this in this one, so I had to go get Tupperware and pans and spread out my pieces. But I finished one puzzle. And finally, my one exciting life event this month is I got ordained. Oh yeah. Because I am performing my brother's wedding ceremony next month. So I went on the internet, and it gets Universal Life Church. A bunch of celebrities were signed up, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the one for me, right? And then when I went to buy my certificate, you can also buy a Jedi Knight certificate. So not only am I ordained to perform weddings and memorials, I'm also a Jedi Knight. So, like, it's official. And you can't take it back, like it's forever. And big news for this channel, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed the new logo I got going on, but I am officially changing my name from Dingleblogger. I know it has been 4 years of Dingleblogger, but I am finally changing it because, as you know, I'm on my own now, and it's gonna be Aubrey Attempts. Yes, that is the new name, so when you find me on all my social media, look for me at Aubrey Attempts. My name's Aubrey. I make new videos every Thursday, so make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. But that's it. I know I say that's it like it's nothing, but because that's a lot of things. But for me, this was a very mellow month, which I imagined how the rest of the year is going to be.